Hi, I'm Ruthie Bowles, your host on the Defiant Business Podcast, your Monday through Friday 10-minute shot of business knowledge. Today, I've got another episode of Under the Microscope for you. So if you missed our first episode of Under the Microscope, we looked at IBM's Content Cantina campaign. And today, we are going to talk about Xfinity Mobile's uh, digital health awareness campaign. So Xfinity Mobile is a relatively new mobile carrier in an incredibly dominated marketplace, because I don't even want to say that it's a crowded marketplace per se, but we know who the big players are, right? And they're firmly entrenched. So we would be surprised to see one of those big carriers fail. But XM is the abbreviation. So their Xfinity Mobile XM is available only for Comcast subscribers. And the advantage to using them versus another carrier is that you can bundle it with your other services, Comcast being the biggest like cable and satellite provider in the United States. But being new, they needed to be noticed. They needed their Comcast customers to notice them. And not to mention, the bundling thing is very attractive for new subscribers as well. So now not only do you get your internet and your cable and your landline, if you still have a landline, you could also get your cell phone. So that's kind of the attractiveness there. And then if you already have, certain Comcast offerings, then it just, maybe it makes sense for you to bundle and get that, Xfinity Mobile, thing going for you. But they needed people to know about them. So this campaign that they did, they called it the phone cleanse. It was all about getting noticed, brand awareness, getting out there and people talking about them. And wow, did they ever succeed? It was amazing. So what they did is they zigged when everybody else was zagging, or maybe it's they, zagged when everybody else was zigging. But the point is they did something different than everyone else. Yes, there are digital health apps out there. That's true. But I feel like for the most part, they kind of quietly went onto the phone and they happened, right? But there wasn't like a big fanfare about it. There wasn't big questions. And this is kind of, I think, like when the tobacco companies were just kind of, mum's the word on the health issues that scientists at that time were beginning to prove that smoking caused and that tobacco can cause. They were just kind of quiet about it. Yeah, they slapped the warning labels on their products, but did they do anything? And I think this is kind of like when the companies who make alcohol, you may see that they'll do a commercial that talks about safe driving, or a commercial that emphasizes moderation. So they're addressing the fact that their product does have some pitfalls, but if you want it anyway, let's be smart. And so I think that that's what XM kind of did here. So what they did is they have this book. It's an actual book, guys, real book, called The Phone Cleanse, and it's got a space in the center for your phone, and you put it in there and you follow the instructions. It's a 7-day phone cleanse, and each day you follow instructions in the book. Now, the reason why they did this instead of a digital app was so people didn't have to flick back and forth between, their phone and the instructions, their phone settings, instructions, app settings and instructions. And so they could just put the phone there in the middle, and that's the focus, is kind of going through and cleansing their life of clutter and notifications and bloat, all this unnecessary content or whatever that's lingering on their phone. And all those notifications, they can cause anxiety. They put a little bit of pressure on your mind, like, oh, here are these things I have to deal with. And so I think that they created a campaign that wanted to help people have a healthier relationship with their phones. And they started this with influencers, which was perfect because the influencers were talking about their experience to their audience. And then the audience was saying, hey, what about me? Can I start doing the phone cleanse as well? I definitely need to do a phone cleanse. And that is when XM made it available to everybody, and everybody could do the phone cleanse. And again, I think, they did something unexpected here. Not only were they talking about digital health, but the actual creation of a book versus putting out a digital app like many would do, kind of takes us back a little bit to simpler times, if you will. So not just that convenience of, hey, I don't have to switch back between my settings and these instructions, but to actually just have something that you could touch that was kind of like an anchor here in the real world compared to everything that you're doing on your phone in the digital world. So I think that they took some very interesting turns, and I think having an actual book was an excellent plan. That was perfect, in my opinion. And the general public agreed. Xfinity Mobile got some great coverage, some serious increases in awareness. And actually, I've got some specific numbers here. So they saw an 11-point lift in top of mind awareness. Again, a very dominated market. And their top of mind awareness is like 400% over the tech benchmark, which is very impressive. They also saw an 81% increase in social conversation about Xfinity Mobile, which, again, incredibly important because they're a new mobile carrier and they need to get their name out there. They need people talking about them, whether they're Comcast subscribers or not. They need people talking about them. And then one of the other ones was that they earned placements in Fox Business News as well as the Washington Post, among other media outlets as well. And that's huge. So what they did got them some earned media, public relations, which is something we've been talking about a lot this season. What they did was interesting enough to get them into these big media publications. So that's not something you can pay for. And that's, something that kind of it adds to the legitimacy of the brand and their credibility. And just, again, it kind of gets it out to people who may not have heard about the brand otherwise. So that's what I really liked about the Xfinity Mobile Cleanse. I think, we should all cultivate healthy relationships with our technology, especially as it becomes more prevalent. We're talking Google Glasses and virtual reality and augmented reality and everything else. They took a topic that would have been easily shuffled to the side, like their larger competitors pretty much did, and they made it a point of interest, and they made it a point of improving well-being. So no matter who you are, whether or not you took part, or whether you're a Comcast subscriber, you're an Xfinity Mobile customer or not, you could take part in this campaign and you would be improved for it. And I think that, that's the sort of positivity that we want to see in the marketing, or that we want to see in marketing in the world. And that is why I decided to bring the XM Phone Cleanse Under the Microscope. So I hope you enjoyed that kind of quick analysis of the Xfinity Mobile content campaign. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Did you take part in the phone cleanse? What did you think of it? Do you still have your book? Take pictures. I'd love to see it. Otherwise, I'll see you next time.